What's up, you guys? So, today, unfortunately, I won't be able to stick around very long, but I wanted to make most with the little bit of time that I do have to hang out with you guys and all that good stuff. So, today, I just wanted to voice my opinion on a trend that I saw yesterday, and it is about something that, to me at least, is super old, and that is the case between Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton. Yesterday over Twitter, there was this trend about her having walked out of a stage where she was being interviewed. I think it's over one of her anti-bullying campaigns. Apparently, that's what she is up to these days. And then, of course, people pointed out that some media outlets were reporting it as she stormed off the interview when, in my own perception, she really didn't. All she did was say, I'm sorry, I cannot do this, and then she actually sped off the stage. But to me, when you say that someone stormed off, it means that someone is irritated, that someone is angry, that someone is potentially even being rude. Like recently I said, wow, someone stormed into the office and they were venting at me their frustrations. Da 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 da. That is storming. That door was pushed open very aggressively and their tone was strong, but it wasn't offensive to me personally. It was just them venting. So the reason I named the stream When Two Sides Are Wrong is because people in this trend, some people kept saying, well, this is what Monica Lewinsky gets for messing with a president who was active and nearly getting him impeached or something. And I'm like, well, I mean, the president could have said no, first of all. So these were two perfectly adult figures, and they did what they did. The media covered it at its time. The consequences that needed to be suffered were suffered pretty much. But do we really have to keep bugging this woman about what happened in 1997? Was it that it happened 1996, whenever it happened? Can we really just not move on from that? And I know that recently I made a stream about when do you keep holding people accountable for their deeds from the past? And this is an excellent example of that. It's just so old that I cannot believe that the way her interview was opened was with a question about, are you still waiting for an apology from Bill Clinton? Like, of course, the lady is going to get annoyed and walk off the stage. At this point, that is just bugging her. Like, just leave her alone. I do not applaud what she did. She was like, what, 21 years old when she did her stuff? Bill Clinton was 35. But, like, there's so much more going on right now, so much better stuff to talk about. The lady is up to better projects in her life. Did she get some fame and attention from that? Yes. I'm not going to sit here and deny it. But all I'm saying is that I do not want to necessarily be constantly thinking of Monica Lewinsky has to be associated with what happened between her and then President Clinton. Like, who cares at this point? It's not even fun anymore. It's not even informative. What more do you want to exploit from the story? There's really nothing else to explore from that story. Just put it to rest. If anything substantial needs to be added to the story, it will come up. But to actually interview this lady, and that's one of the questions you're going to ask her, it's been over 20 fucking years. Is there seriously nothing else that you feel compelled to open up an interview with? And then what's particularly interesting is that according to Lewinsky, she had told this lady who was interviewing her that there were questions and topics that were off limits, and it was clearly about the Clinton related stuff. And I get it. I would be the same way. First of all, I would find myself in that type of a situation because I know better than to mess with a married man who's also the most powerful man in the world at that point in time. But to keep bugging someone, it doesn't matter what their status is, it doesn't matter who they are, it just crosses a line at some point. And to me, I actually see that as a form of bullying, as a form of harassment, even if you're not being aggressive, because you're just bugging someone about it. And just like with our boy Chadwick Boseman when he did Black Panther, people would see him in the streets and ask him to do his little whatever solidarity thing that he would do. Like, leave that man alone. That man is tired. Like, he really did that fulfilling a role, but to be asking him for that all the time is just irritating. And same thing with Henry Cavill when he did his little guns reloads in Mission Impossible. Like, at least I saw one talk show where he showed everybody how to do it. Like, I'm sure that man was tired, and at that point, he's like, okay, I did not know that this was going to become so iconic, and that this is how people are going to bug me about it. But remember that on this Lewinsky Clinton story, both sides were wrong. He could have said no. She definitely could have acted a whole lot better about it and not being involved with the president. I don't know the details of it. I don't care. I don't know who like seduced whom or if that's even important. But what's important here is just if a person clearly is over a matter, just don't bug them about it. It doesn't matter how famous they are. It doesn't matter how much money they got from that, how much attention and notoriety they got from that. Just let them go. Because I definitely would have been interested in what she had to say about any bullying campaigns that she works with now. And, to me, that's important. That's a step in the right direction. Clearly, this lady is past that chapter in her life. She has much more to offer than the events that took place in the 90s. That's how I like to associate with her with. Like, is she my role model? Not by any stretch of the imagination, but the lady is doing some good stuff, just like Kim Kardashian. Right now, she's trending because she is going to help another convicted felon to be freed for having had a life prison, for having been sentenced to life in prison back in 2010. Like, to me, that's good. And I don't love Kim Kardashian. I do not follow her at all. She is not my role model at all. But would I be bugging her about her tape from, like, what year was it? 2007? Whenever she got involved with that one rapper or whatever? No. If I were to sit down with this lady and have a face to face conversation, I'm pretty sure that is not the first topic that's going to come to my mind. The first question I would ask her, I think, would be just, do you ever feel like you can truly get a break to be spending time with yourself? You're this person who's pretty much known in every corner of the world. Like, is there any pretty much any stress management techniques that you have? I'm sure you do have them. What are they? I don't want to look them up or read up on them. I want for you to tell me. It's one thing when you have a one on one with someone and discuss things versus finding out through other mediums. That would be a question that I would consider asking her. Also, how do you feel about having become a successful businesswoman? Is this what you thought you had planned for your future? Is this something that you imagined that you would possess? What was originally your career plans and stuff? Things like that. Just, I'm not going to be asking her about her business from personal business like that. So, same thing with Monica Lewinsky. If I were to have a conversation with her, I would just ask her generic stuff and I would treat her as if I was meeting her for the first time, which I am. I happen to know who she is. I met her for the wrong reasons, I guess, like found out about her for the wrong reasons. But I know that this lady has experienced much more in life than just being involved with the president. There is more to this lady's life than that. And that's the person who I want to know. So, again, guys, this is not really like, I know that this is not going to change anything. I'm not really trying to be like defending anybody or take sides or be an advocate for anything. I'm just trying to express that in this case, both parties are wrong, no matter what. But also, I think it's wrong to be a bug about something to someone, especially when you know that this conversation accommodates them, that this conversation bothers them. Why why apply more salt to the wound? Salt water to the wound. It's just ridiculous to me. And well, you guys, I'm going to conclude my rambling right here. I'm not sure when I'll come back. I know that my attendance here has been affected a little bit, but I am not trying to hide or anything from you. It's just that my timing and schedule has been particularly hectic and inconvenient, but I'm still around. I'm trying to hang out more in the comment sections at least, but yeah, don't worry. I don't intend on disappearing. I'm just really tight on time as of lately. But I do pay attention to what you guys are saying, even if I don't get to reply. So don't think that you go unnoticed. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.